But, you know, we saw Gladys, and the Gladys is very fast, but not be so confident in the pre-race interviews.
Billy Goshen is done for the day. Jamie Howe has caught up with him in the pits.
Billy, out early with contact. You're really coming to terms with the car. You've proven that you can be fast in the practice sessions and qualifying. How disappointing is this today?
Oh, this is really disappointing, especially points-wise, because last weekend we had a bad finish too. So this will be a drop. This will be our drop. So we'll have 2 bad finishes, which isn't what we want. But it's pretty disappointing right now.
Tough break for Goshen, who was on the podium earlier this year. 3rd at Portland in the first race, and Hall has reeled in Otero. So now if he can get around Otero, he'll be right behind Joel Miller.
He needs to do that, but what he also needs to do is really get into the mirrors of Otero. You know, try to mess up his head, throw a few fakes, and continually throw a fake in the corner to get him to open up that line and make him, you know, worry about what's going on behind him. Right now what I'm doing is I'm watching Otero, see him looking in his mirror, see if I'm controlling him.
Otero right there in the 18, and Hall in the black, silver, and red blimpy back number 77.
Both these guys doing a really nice job. I mean, I got to tell you, you know, racing on a street circuit, if you've got a great car, is one of the most pleasurable things in the world. You get so into, you know, the rhythm of it and hitting your marks. You have to be technically so good.
Is it more enjoyable as opposed to having a car set up good on a permanent circuit?
You know, for me, if I'm on a good street circuit and I've got a really well prepared, you know, car that's just got grip and is doing what I ask of it, yeah. I mean, just the, you know, you raise your level of precision to a whole new place, and it's just, you know, the necessity to be precise. Because if you make a mistake, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt the car. You know, that's kind of that's a cool pressure situation to be under.
Oh, the 24 of Jeffrey Kester out of Texas is around.
That just might have been one of those deals where you left your braking a little bit too late.
I think you're right. Let's look at the replay.
Well, this is coming down turn 5 area. You see him hit the bumps, lock up. Oh, man, and just keep him locked. Hulse did the right thing, just let him slide on by you. But you know what Kester needed to do there was get off the brakes, try to make a haul down the inside. Well done.
Yep, slides right past Otero, and now sets his sights on Joel Miller.
And this is when you on the radio, you want your crew chief saying, okay, good job, plenty of time, hit your marks, those guys will come back to you. Nice and smooth, and it's so funny, Ralph, because so many times you get in a street circuit and they can be cut and thrash and all that kind of stuff, but if you slow your movements down and you be really smooth, not get your car sideways, it's amazing how much faster you'll go.
Well, you can see how big the gap has grown already, and you can see how much Otero's moving around, and that's costing him all that time. These guys enjoying the day. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back at Trois Rivieres. Any given weekend, there are more Mazdas road raced than any other brand. These Mazdas all powered by the Renesis rotary engine, the same one you find in an RX-8 at your local Mazda dealer, sporting those Goodyear tires.
Dempsey is getting it done, breaking away, and in breaking away, not only is he, you know, emboldening himself to drive better and drive faster, but he's crushing Edwards behind him and Alex Ardoin. You don't know whether Ardoin might be faster. I mean, he's certainly able to stay right there with Edwards, but right now, you know, Peter Dempsey awfully strong.
Or could Ardoin maybe have used up the tires on that black 51? Because we saw him locking them up.
Yeah, locking them up and throwing it around some on those first couple of laps. So yeah, I mean that's a distinct possibility. You know, right there you see, you know, Joel Miller. Joel, you know, was awesome. He won Sebring, the opener, and he's been nice and consistent. But we need to see that guy win again. You know, Star Mazda, it's a launching pad for these guys in their careers, and you know, championships are great. But I've seen more guys in this series. You know, those drivers that dominate at the end of a season generally go into the next season stronger than a guy that won early but didn't win at the end and might have won a championship. Winning races, you got to do it here in Star Mazda.
Well, what has really killed Miller right now is the fact that he was 16th at Portland in the first race here and 15th at Road America. 2 finishes outside the top 10. Everything else, he's been in the top 3. A 3rd in the second race at Portland, a 2nd at Watkins Glen, a 3rd at Miller at Salt Lake City, and the win in the pole at Sebring.
He's definitely been consistent. You throw out those bad races, everyone's going to have them. And I got to tell you, he still has the coolest pass of the year. That when he I think was past Hall, going up to turn 8 at Portland. That was definitely the coolest pass I've seen in a long time. But you got to win races.
Well, the big difference between him and Hall is the fact that Hall only has 1 race outside the top 15. Everything else has been the top 5. A lot more consistent.
Well, and you ask yourself, what are you trying to do? You win the championship, that allows you to attract sponsors and attract teams. But if you're that guy on fire at the end of the season, you win the last 3, 4, and you do so in a dramatic, style, boy, that is equally as important and attractive to any team manager, whether it be in Mazda Atlantics or in sports cars, any arena. You want to see guys that are fast and they're able to win. You're looking as you look at John Edwards there with Ardoin right behind him. Edwards, of course, joined the series late, and his very first race he won in a dominant style. He's been at the front ever since, and that's a guy that I would have thought we'd have seen maybe nail another win by now. But it shows just how competitive this is.
Edwards, the first guy on the tour to get 2 wins this year, Salt Lake City, and then he got the 2nd one there on that doubleheader weekend in Portland. We've got another doubleheader coming up a little later in the year too, Johnny, at that new racetrack in New Jersey, and that could be a real variable in this championship chase because nobody is going to have any experience on that circuit.
That is going to be very neat. I mean, I've seen nothing about the circuit. I'll never have run there, so I'll get to learn the circuit myself, and that'll be cool. But it definitely puts all the teams on even footing.
Dempsey still hanging on. Dave Mundy is in the 52 now. He goes in between our 1st and 2nd place cars.
Oh, look at that. And what he did there, he got completely out of the throttle not to mess up Joel Miller. That was very cool.
Well, Ardoin really pushing hard on the backside of the 7 now, Edwards.
It's one of those deals where he's close enough to stay there, and you wonder whether or not, he might have a little bit better exits out of these corners and not have enough room to pull off the pass. And Edwards, we've not seen Edwards make mistakes. I mean, the guy's definitely strong, very consistent.
Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific, only on Speed. Pretty bumpy place here, and Dune Buggy might not be such a bad setup.
I got to tell you, over those bumps going into turn 5, it'd be nice to have. I'm watching Ardoin, and I think Ardoin is stronger on the brakes, but he's not able to do anything with it because you've got Edwards getting out of the corner so cleanly. And you know what? When you know you're, oh, there we go. Edwards getting a little bit loose now. Ardoin's got to see that and say to himself, all right, I'm getting to him. I got to keep the pressure on.
Is he getting to him, or are the tires going away? Because we heard tire management's going to be the deal today.
As the cars are going around, I'm watching the tires to see if any are blistering, and you can see as they go into corners the coloration of the tire changing a little bit across the tread. Nothing, though, that I would see that would concern me at this point yet, though.
Something to keep an eye on. You missed the beginning of the show. There was supposed to be another street race this season in Houston. That didn't happen. So Goodyear having to juggle their street tires, street circuit tires.
Both these guys, I tell you what, really providing a great race for us today. He's trying to learn the racecraft that's associated with doing it. Edwards, not making a mistake. He had that one little bobble going into the final hairpin. Other than that, he's hitting his points, and I'm sure his crew chief is telling him, he knows he's there. Hit your apexes, accelerate off. He's not going to be able to get by you.
If Joe Miller can stay where he is in 4th and keep Gladys and points leader Hall behind him, he'll definitely close that already tight gap between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the point standings.
No, for sure. And right now we see that Ardoin is falling back a little bit, and so you don't know whether, he might have taken a